From the darkest depths of London's slums to the drawing rooms of the elite, fear gripped the city as a shadowy killer stalked his prey. All he seemed to seek was the blood of prostitutes. But with each attack, the body count rose and the terror escalated. Who was Jack the Ripper, and will we ever unmask him? Hello, everyone. Today we bring you the terrifying tale of Jack the Ripper, the infamous serial killer who terrorized London's Whitechapel district in 1888. Join us as we revisit the gruesome details of his crimes and explore the theories that have kept this case alive for over a century. But before we begin, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an intriguing mystery. Let's delve into the chilling narrative that has fascinated and horrified people for generations. Chapter 1. A Killer on the Loose. The year is 1888 and London is a city of stark contrasts. While the glittering lights of the West End dazzled the wealthy, the East End was shrouded in darkness, both literally and metaphorically. Poverty, crime, and disease ran rampant in the labyrinthine streets of Whitechapel, where the infamous Jack the Ripper would soon leave his mark. On August 31st, the body of Mary Ann Nichols, a 43-year-old prostitute, was found brutally murdered near the Whitechapel Road. Her throat had been slashed and multiple wounds covered her body. Just 2 days later, on September 2nd, police were called to the scene again. This time it was Annie Poliakoff who met a horrific end. Her throat was cut so deeply that her head almost separated from her body. Fear began to grip the residents of Whitechapel as whispers of a serial killer on the loose spread like wildfire. The attacks continued unabated. On September 7th, Elizabeth Stride was found dead with her throat slashed across the Whitechapel Road. Edos met a similar fate on September 30th, her mutilated body discovered in the same vicinity. Each murder bore the hallmarks of the others, pointing to a single perpetrator with a gruesome modus operandi. The killer was nicknamed Jack the Ripper by the press, a name that has echoed through history. But who was Jack the Ripper, and what drove him to commit such heinous acts? As the investigation intensified, authorities began to piece together the disturbing pattern of the crime. All the victims were sex workers, many of them recent immigrants struggling to survive in the harsh realities of Victorian London. They were found in the same area, suggesting a killer who operated within a confined territory. What was the motive behind these brutal murders? Was it personal vendetta, religious fanaticism, or simply the lust for blood? As Scotland Yard delved deeper into the case, they uncovered a series of strange coincidences. The killer seemed to target women who were alone at night, cutting their throats in a single swift motion and then mutilating their bodies with surgical precision. The brutality of the crimes shocked the nation. Chapter 2. The Prime Suspects. With each new murder, the public's fascination with the case grew, as did the pressure on the police to find the killer. Inspector Frederick Aberline and his team worked tirelessly to catch Jack the Ripper, following every lead and interrogating countless suspects. However, as the investigation progressed, several men stood out as potential culprits. Montague John Druitt, a prominent barrister, became a suspect due to his shady past and sudden disappearance. His intimate involvement with the victim lent credence to the theory that he could be the elusive Jack the Ripper. However, despite extensive searches, no trace of Druitt was found, leaving his involvement in the case open to speculation. Aaron Kosminski, a Polish immigrant and barber, also came under suspicion. Witnesses reported seeing a man matching his description near the crime scenes, and he possessed a history of violence and substance abuse. However, lack of concrete evidence meant he too could not be conclusively linked to the murder. Francis Tumblety, an American surgeon, caught the attention of the police because of his extreme views on women and frequent travels to London. His bizarre behavior and alleged dismemberment of animals further fueled suspicions. But ultimately he was acquitted of the charges due to a lack of substantial proof. While these men were prime suspects, another contender lurked in the shadows. Prince Albert Victor, grandson of Queen Victoria, and second in line to the throne, was rumored to be Jack the Ripper. This sensational theory stemmed from his supposed erratic behavior, mental instability, and close proximity to the crime scenes. However, it remains a controversial and unsubstantiated claim. Chapter 3: The Legacy of Jack the Ripper. As the fog of Victorian London descended once again, the nightmare on the streets of Whitechapel seemed to have come to an end. But the identity of Jack the Ripper remained a mystery, lost to the annals of time. Despite the best efforts of Scotland Yard and the advancements in forensic technology, the case remains unsolved to this day. Over the years, numerous theories have emerged, each attempting to shed light on the darkness that befell White. Some believe that Jack the Ripper was a member of the royal family, driven by a desire to protect his bloodline and cover up any scandal. Others argue that the killer was a medical student or practitioner who used his knowledge to inflict such precise and horrifying wounds. But perhaps the most compelling theories suggest that Jack the Ripper was a serial killer who chose prostitutes as his victims, driven by misogyny and a thirst for power. To this day, the haunting image of Jack the Ripper persists in the collective consciousness. He serves as a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk in the hearts of men. But his legacy goes beyond the gruesome details of his crimes. Jack the Ripper symbolizes the struggle for justice in a society plagued by poverty, inequality, and unchecked violence. The failure to catch the killer highlighted the limitations of law enforcement in a rapidly changing world. It also exposed the societal issues that allowed such horrors to occur. In the aftermath of these horrific crimes, Lunadars called for sweeping reforms to address the dire conditions in the city's slums. The need for better lighting, more police presence, and improved living conditions became a rallying cry for the people of London. Their demands for change echoed throughout the city, forcing authorities to confront the grim reality of their time. Jack the Ripper's crimes also had a profound impact on the perception of women in society. The targeting of prostitutes highlighted the vulnerability of sex workers and the societal prejudices they faced. It brought to light the harsh realities of their lives and the dangers they encountered on a daily basis. Furthermore, the case raised questions about the role of the media in shaping public opinion. The sensationalist reporting of Jack the Ripper's crimes not only captivated the masses, but also influenced the course of the investigation. Press played a significant role in building up the image of the killer in the public's mind, often exaggerating or fabricating details to sell paper. The legacy of Jack the Ripper continues to captivate and horrify us to this day. His crimes serve as a reminder of the depths of human depravity and the importance of addressing the societal issues that contribute to such violence. While the identity of the notorious killer may forever remain shrouded in mystery, the impact of his crimes on London and the world is undeniable. Bile with the darkness that lurks within our society, the tale of Jack the Ripper stands as a chilling warning, urging us to strive for a better, safer world for all. In conclusion, the Jack the Ripper murders remain one of the most infamous and perplexing cases in history. Despite extensive investigations and countless theories, the true identity of the killer remains a mystery. As we reflect on the gruesome details of the crimes and the societal context in which they occur, we are reminded of the complexities of human nature and the challenges of seeking justice in an imperfect world. The case serves as a testament to the brilliant investigative work of Scotland Yard and the advancements in forensic technology. However, it also highlights the limitations of even the most dedicated efforts in the face of an elusive killer. Jack the Ripper's cunning and ability to evade capture continue to fascinate and intrigue, making him a figure of both horror and morbid curiosity. Moreover, the murders brought to light the harsh realities of life in Victorian London, exposing the stark contrast between the opulence of the upper classes and the abject poverty of the working class. The social conditions that allowed such atrocities to occur prompted calls for reform and helped pave the way for improved living standards and working conditions in the decades that followed. As we delve into the dark recesses of this chilling case, we must acknowledge the profound impact it had on the individuals involved and the broader societal implications. The victims, their families, and the communities affected by these crimes deserve our remembrance and respect. Their stories should not be forgotten, but rather used as a catalyst for understanding and empathy. In the absence of definitive answers, was he a member of the aristocracy with a secret to hide, a troubled individual seeking notoriety, or a force of pure evil? Perhaps the truth lies somewhere in the murky depths of history, lost to the relentless march of time. Ultimately, the Jack the Ripper murders remain an enigma, a puzzle whose pieces may never fit together. But the fascination and horror they inspire in us continue to grow. In revisiting this haunting case, we pay tribute to the victim, honor the tireless efforts of those seeking justice, and confront the darkness that still persists in our world. May their memories serve as a guiding light, illuminating the path towards a safer and more compassionate future. If you enjoyed this, drop a comment, like, and subscribe for more mysteries unsolved.